kids love the 2-in-1s. One of the things that they first do is they immediately take the devices and they flip it around so they can use the touchscreen for things. I was in a classroom just yesterday where a teacher was using the drawing tools in Microsoft Word to have her students work in pairs to, draw. This was a science teacher, so they were drawing the producers versus the consumers and who was what, and they were putting in pictures, and the students were creating all of it. So it wasn't just some worksheet that they had been given. They were giving the framework and interacting with the knowledge, but they were given the freedom to do it in a way that made sense to them. And I think that's just so powerful. I mean, when you see it, it's really powerful.
And I was in a classroom yesterday as well, and it was a classroom full of students. We had combined 2 classes to work on a project. And I was amazed. There were about 30-something kids in the classroom. There were 5 adults, and the adults were just standing there, and the magic was happening because the students were in charge of their own learning. So, they always say, at the end of the day, who should be tired, the students or the teachers? Well, it should be the students.
So what types of tools are the students learning how to use?
And there are so many tools. I mean, tools, and it's primarily focused on student creation, right? So not just consumption. We think a lot about student consumption, but these are tools that, like Adobe Spark, that lets them create videos and websites, even using the tools in Office 365 that allow them to collaborate and work with each other, to draw, to be creative. We recently had a session where we talked about sketchnoting and how the benefits to knowledge retention when you can actually doodle when you draw or when you take notes, right? These kinds of things. And it's not all technology. It's important to understand the limitations of when and when not to use technology. We want it to be there, but it's great. All those things are getting used.
All right. Well, let's hear some more from the teachers on the impact.
Okay.
I would say the largest impact that the CTIP program has had on my students is constant engagement. When they're choosing during recess time to use a new program or to show me what they've created, it really shows me that their heart and their passion is on fire for using technology. And I think that it's really changed the way that they are viewing their opportunities in the world. They go home and for homework they'll use the technology that we've learned about and kind of submit things and be so excited the next morning when they walk in. They'll say, hey, did you see my Adobe Spark video? I did it for my reading reflection. Or my Flipgrid video, my different things that I've sent you on Sway. And I'm excited to get them. They come straight to my email, so everything's like instantaneous. And I think it's just impacted their love of staying engaged in learning. It's a digital world, so kids know that too, and they'd rather be at home playing on their phones or their computers, but now they're wanting to use it for learning, and I think that that's a huge deal.
Okay, CTIP has had a tremendous impact on the way I actually deliver the content to my students. I found new ways to actually get the students to actually engage in the content that I'm delivering to them. They actually all have laptops at their table, so they're able to interact with that. They don't have to look up the board. Gives them a more easy way to take notes. Not only that, where we're trying to do practice exercises, I might point it off to Flipgrid, all right, and allow Flipgrid to make videos so that way they're actually recording what's going on. They can share things and they can like and communicate with it. Or it may be that I just have them walk over to a board that I've gotten from Avid and have them actually write the equations out or questions out and work their way through the process and compare it with other students in the room to figure out what's the best way to do this stuff. As a side note, I've actually used CTIP in the content you guys have been teaching me about 21st century learning, and I've actually been awarded grants. So I've been using grants to actually buy new equipment for my classroom that provide more technology and give better integration of information for the students.
The impact that it's had on my students, the CTIP program, it has given them, I would say, a breath of fresh life, and they have expanded their knowledge base, not only in science, but also in technology, communication, research. They've had opportunities to really experience different applications using their 21st century skills that they would normally have the opportunity to do in a science classroom. As far as my teaching experiences, it has definitely stretched me far and wide. It's taken me places that I've never been before, learning different applications and why research and collaboration is important for students as well as the teacher. And so it's just been a very excellent experience. Excellent.